So if you guys been watching my videos, you guys know I absolutely love the Xbox controller. How can they top this off? How can you make this controller better? Well, the answer is right here. The Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. The unboxing experience is simply magnificent. So you're getting a high quality hardcover case. You're also getting 6 analog sticks, so 2 concave, 1 dome with this ripple grip just to avoid your thumb slipping off. This stick in particular is meant for the left stick, so when you're running, kind of give you the illusion that your thumb is free so you can move around with it. Concave kind of locks your thumb in there in a sense. And then you have the tall analog stick, which is concave, so you have improved accuracy. That's why people get these control freaks to increase the height of the thumbstick. It might take some time to get used to if you're used to the Xbox controller, but trust me when I tell you, increase your sensitivity, have that high analog stick, you're gonna improve your accuracy. Now you can adjust the thumbstick tension to each stick. So for the left stick, you can have a low sensitivity, and then on the right stick, you have that high sensitivity. That high setting is gonna give you that Xbox 360 controller feeling. That's the setting that I have. So essentially it's tightening the analog stick for better accuracies. And the options doesn't even stop there. You can remove the disc directional pad. I don't really like using this pad just because it's much more quicker to have the standard cross. So for example, on Call of Duty, you can call in your kill streaks a little bit more accurate compared to the disc. Maybe the disc will be handy if you're playing fighting games. Now, taking a look at the back, you can adjust the trigger stops. So normally on a regular Xbox controller, when you press down on the trigger, it goes all the way down for the command to go. But with the Elite Series 2 controller, you can adjust it so you can have it just like a regular button. This is absolutely essential if you play all kinds of shooting games such as Battlefield 2042, Halo Infinite, or even Call of Duty Warzone. You could be able to just fire your gun quickly, especially with pistols or even semi-automatic guns. You could be able to just instantaneously fire your gun. And I'm gonna talk about this in a little bit, but you can actually adjust it using the software too as well. So you have your level 3, this is just the regular trigger, and then you have this middle option. So it stops the trigger halfway, just about 50% just down, and then you have your all the way down. This is the one that I recommend on both triggers. But I liked how you have that option because if you play games like Forza Horizon 5, you want to be able to utilize the triggers all the way down instead of just halfway through. And just getting into those features, these are fundamental changes to improve your game. And it doesn't even stop there. I didn't even talk about the actual paddles on the back. Now, prior to this, my previous Pro controller being the Battle Beaver controller for the PS4, I say that to say, I only had 2 buttons on the back. So it was X and circle. So with the Elite controller Series 2, I have 4 paddles on the back. So essentially I can have the entire face buttons towards the back. So I never have to move my right thumb to the face buttons to press A or reload with X. So I can just press the buttons on the back while still having my thumb on the right stick, keeping my aim together. Now, if you're not a fan of the 4 buttons, maybe it's just too much for you or you just don't find it necessary, you can simply remove it by just removing the paddles. It's literally gonna feel like a regular controller because the buttons are so flush into the controller that you're not even gonna notice it there. And the reason why I love these paddles so much, you can remap them. So with my Battle Beaver controller, you have to customize the buttons on the website for them to do it for you. But with this, you can just wake up the next day and change it to RB instead of A. So you can instantly remap the buttons right away. No need for Xbox to do it, and then you gotta send it back to Xbox to change it. You could do it right there on the software. And speaking of the software, oh my God, so many customization options. Man, the video would take literally an hour to just talk about all the options. But first things first, you have the analog stick sensitivities. So you have things like sensitivity curve. You have different presets such as smooth, aggressive, delayed, so many options. This dude, man, he made a 30-minute video talking about each setting and what's the best setting for each game, because it all depends on the game that you play. You can even adjust the trigger dead zones, how the trigger is gonna react when you press it down. I like to set this down all the way to 0 just to have the faster, response. Basically, I want it as responsive as possible. You can save up to 3 presets. Maybe Battlefield, you want a little bit of the trigger dead zones. Maybe on Call of Duty, you want to adjust the right stick sensitivity. And then on Halo, maybe you want to fine tune the vibration. I don't even know, but you can have different presets for each game. Now there is a 4th preset, but I'm not even going to consider it a preset. Essentially, this is just going to disable everything and just have it as a regular Xbox controller. So the paddles on the back, it's not going to work. All your presets, all those dead zones that you set, is not going to work. So the 4th preset is just a regular Xbox controller. And I didn't even talk about the shift. Now, what this means is, on PC, you hold the shift key and then you press a command. That's how you can do a shortcut action. They brought that over to the Series 2 controller. So for example, I could hold LB and then press another button that would activate a command. So for example, I could have one to take a screenshot, record a video, or I can even control the volume on my TV. So I can raise or lower the volume or mute it. Even though I don't use it at all, I still think it's pretty cool. In terms of the battery life, this is pretty insane. It lasts up to 30 hours. And I never once found myself needing to charge this thing up, not rushing like, oh my God, I'm on 1%, let me charge real quick. Never. Just because you have the case, that is a charging dock. And once you have a nice setup, you can just put it down on there and it's just charged. And it's just even design perspective, love the way how this controller looks like, especially the Halo Infinite limited edition one. I looked at the all black one, that's cool too, with the gray aesthetics going on in the back. But this Halo Infinite one just looks so beautiful. You can even see the scratches. I didn't do that, that's just part of the design. And you have that orange accent on the D-pad alongside of the 117 emblem in front of the controller. So you have green and black and orange aesthetics. I wish there was a little bit more orange, maybe put orange on the paddles, or maybe orange on the top. But nonetheless, it's still a beautiful looking controller. You have that grip all around. So on the front, the back, the sides, everything is all gripped up. And just even the little things like the Type-C cable being braided and even having the green and orange aesthetics and the wire being so long. If you love the Xbox controller, you're just gonna simply love the Series 2 controller, hands down. This is just taking this and making it so much better. Premium features for the pro players. Yes, it's a steep price, especially for the Halo limited edition. You're getting a bargain, you're getting a lot of customization options, and most importantly, you may win more gunfights just by playing with this controller, just because of those settings that we just went over. The only con I could really think of with this particular controller, you cannot customize the controller. I'm talking about aesthetically. So I can't get a red Elite Series 2 controller. There's only black, and you have this limited edition Halo Infinite controller. So that's probably the only con I can think of. Everything else is just 110% perfect. Even the warranty, simpler things like the warranty lasting up to a year, it's just included. This is like, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is it. If you play Xbox, PC, this is your controller. I'm still trying to figure out how to pair up this controller to my PS5. And if I find that way, I'm gonna make a video on it, because this will be the ultimate controller. One controller for everything except for the Switch. The Switch is the Switch. But nonetheless, guys, the controller is just that good. I am giving this a pops approval, hands down. If you're a gamer, you're gonna need this in your life.